Education psychologist Fred Schouwink is urging parents and guardians to keep open communication with their children. He says this can help prevent and fight mental health issues, which often result in suicide. His remarks come after Schouwink Education yesterday's alarming suicide rate among pupils. The department says it receives reports of suspected suicides almost every day. He says most of these cases can be prevented.
We certainly have got reason for concern, considering that in South Africa, our suicide rate is about 4 times the global average. So there's not just one root cause, and I think it's rather an interplay of various factors. For me, certainly, one of the key things to consider is often undiagnosed mental health disorders like anxiety and depression. And we know that very often with anxiety and depression, you also then have poor sleep, substance abuse, social isolation that puts a young person at even higher risk for suicide. It's also very well documented that social media plays a role because it does set these unrealistic standards that place young people at high risk of feeling worthless and inadequate, especially for those who spend a lot of time seeking that validation through likes and comments. And obviously cyberbullying can also then be a risk factor. Some of the other things that we need to consider is certainly the intense pressure that a lot of young people are under academically, and they feel that stress and feelings of inadequacy because they are growing up in an environment that's highly competitive, perhaps high parental expectations, and those things. And we also know that certainly a lack of family support can play a role. More than ever, I think families are facing unprecedented levels of stress, and this can lead to poor communication, increased family conflict, and in some cases even domestic violence, abuse and neglect. And these challenging family dynamics often put young people at risk for mental health problems and suicidal tendencies.